Welcome back to another fabulous episode of the Reckless Wrench Garage. One day I'll be able to say that without tripping over it. We finally reached the point where we get to do the radius arm setup on the front of the Suburban. We have all these fancy brackets and some tubes. We get to work some magic and make it happen.
We're going to drop the transmission cross member real quick. Use a strap, a Reckless Wrench style, to hold up the transmission and transfer case, so that way we could put our radius arm brackets far enough back on the frame so they're not going to interfere with anything. And we'll get going with that.
Well, if any of you need a trans cross member, I got one. Alright, for the radius arm setup, we're going to be doing just like we did with the 4-link on the rear. We're going to use PVC for mocking it up. On the rear, we'll be using typical frame side bracket. We're going to be using 2-inch quarter wall DOM for the lower part of the links. And on the rear end, we'll be using the Barnes Enduro joint. On the front lower end, we're going to be using a solid bushing, like such. For the upper arms, we're going to have a solid bushing on one end and a forged bushing on the other end. And then, of course, it's going to be a little too long here, but I just want to get the angle of this.
Oh yeah. Now we're removing the sway bar, and we're also going to swap out the steering box with a 2-wheel drive unit. The 2-wheel drive steering box will allow us to do a crossover steering and get rid of the factory push-pull steering.
Alright, as far as the truss goes, I got some 1/4" plate for the top and the little standoffs. Cut everything out with the plasma cutter. For the filler plates, I used 1/8" and made use of our TMR dimple dies again. Those things are amazing. For the upper arm on the link end, I took some more 1/4" plate, cut out some brackets, and I actually didn't really think about the process of what I was doing. I made 2 flat brackets just to start off with and realized they were much wider than the tube that we were welding it to. So I went through, made a slit on each side, put it in the vise and bent it, and there we go. Fits on the tube quite nicely. So we're going to go ahead and get all that welded up.
Now that our brackets and links are tacked in, we are going to check the up travel on the front axle. We're going to make sure we have no clearance issues with the radius arms and the frame. And whenever we get the panhard put together, we will check the droop travel.
Well, that just about wraps it up for this episode. We got the front axle in place, all the links tacked in. Got to burn all that in. Next time we work on the Suburban, we'll be doing the panhard bar, the steering links, and the cantilevers for the rear. Until then, we just wait on coilovers to get here and try to stay warm.
Yeah. Make sure you like, give us any comments down below, and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys.